Hello, algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and this is another review video. This one will be a little bit longer than the others because I want to go through a lot of scenarios. Maya asked me to go over domain and range. And first, we'll just start by saying that domain is the set of all possible inputs, the x values, anything x is allowed to be, and the range is all possible outputs. Okay, so I'm going to come up with probably about 9 scenarios here. And I'm going to go to Desmos and graph them on there, and then I will explain some of them, and then maybe I'll have you try and see if you can do some. So this video will be a little bit longer than the other ones. Okay, I don't think I can explain it more simply. So the first equation is y equals 3x. It's a linear equation, right? And I'll bet almost all of you can tell me, well, geez, x can be anything on the real number line, right? X could be 0, it could be a half, it could be a billion, right? So the domain is going to be all real numbers for this one. Similarly, y can be any number as well. Okay, I could zoom way in. Oh, look at that. See, when y is 0.005, sure enough, I hit. Okay, I hit the line there. And when x is whatever that is, let's see, let's go up here. Look, there x is 0.000101, 0.000095, right, etc. Okay, so x can be all, or the domain is all real numbers, and the range is all real numbers. Okay, what would happen if we took this x out and we just maybe did y equals 4? Okay, and let me hit home. All right, there we go. Okay, so what's the domain? What are the possible x values? Well, it looks like x can be anything, right? See that? Any x value you give me here at 600, I get a y value, don't I? Right? So again, we're at all real numbers. Now, what about the range? The range is the possible y values. The range is the possible y value. I only see one y value. Do you see that? Look. There's -1 and 98 hundredths, y value of 4. When x is -4, y is 4. When x is 0, y is 4. When x is 2, y is 4. Do you hear me repeating myself? 3, it's 4. Okay, the range is just simply 4. Yeah, it's a set of 4, that's it. Okay, I would do it, I don't know if it's going to let me write on here. I don't think it's going to. So I'll jump over here and go, the range on that one would be just a set of 4. That would be the range for that problem we were just talking about. Okay, I'm going to put the next equation up and see if you can tell me the domain or the range. Well, both of them actually. All right, so the next one is going to be x equals 2. All right, there it is. See if you can tell me the domain and the range. Pause the video if you need to. Here comes my solution. My solution says that the domain is simply the set of 2. That's it. X value can only be 2. The range, however, is any real number because I'm getting y values of 2.04. I'm getting 3.17, 3.32, 3.67, 4, 6, 1,000. Okay? All right, let's try a new equation here. How about this one? F of x, we'll do a function, f of x is going to equal 3x squared, 3x to the second power, and there we go. It's a parabola, right? Go ahead, see if you can tell me the domain and the range. Okay, if you haven't tried it yet, pause the video and try it. All right, the domain will be all real numbers because this U is going to keep opening wider and wider and wider over time. And then the range will be all real numbers such that f of x is greater than 0, right? It's greater than 0. Now, an interesting thing happens if I, subtract 6. If you look, the domain still stays all real numbers, but the range changes to all real numbers such that f of x is greater than or equal to -6. Yeah, there you go. Now, if the parabola looked like this, x equals 2y to the second power. Let's go minus 2. Yeah, there we go. Oh, minus 1, sorry. Okay, here my domain is not all real numbers because look at all these negatives that are not included. Yeah, the smallest negative, or the smallest value of x that's included is negative 1. So the domain would be all real numbers such that x is greater than or equal to 1. Okay, the range, however, will be all real numbers because this parabola is going to get wider and wider and wider and wider and wider. All right, let's try an exponential one. Let's do g of x, and let's make that equal to 2 to the power of x, and then let's subtract 3. Okay. And I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. Okay, well, maybe I'll zoom in a little bit. There we go. I like that better. Okay, so the domain is going to be all real numbers, right? Because this is just going to keep going. All right, the range looks like it's going to be anything greater than or equal to negative 3, but it's not. Because look at that. I'm not at negative 3. My y-coordinate is close to negative 3, but it's not there. If I come out here and zoom in, and zoom in, and zoom in. Oh, there it is. Oh, look at that. I'm not touching negative 3 anymore. See? I'm really, really close to it, but I don't ever touch it. Now, Desmos is kind of flawed. It's only a limited program. It won't be able to show you this forever. Eventually, it'll probably give you negative 3 because it'll round. But in reality, it will get closer and closer and closer to a y value of negative 3, but we'll never get there. So the range, if you notice, let me go back to the home, all the y values are larger than negative 3, aren't they? So the range would be all real numbers such that f of x, well, g of x is greater than negative 3. It won't be equal to because it'll never get there. Now, let me get rid of this negative 3, and let me stick a negative in front of that 2, and then let me add 2. Okay. Look at flip the graph upside down, and you see here's the asymptote right here. It looks like it's hitting 2, but if you check the y values, it's not. In fact, if I zoom in, you can already see the separation there. See? Oh, Mr. Lawrence, it's not separated there. Okay, let me get that in the center. And zoom in. See, it is separated. Yeah, we're not quite at 2. All right, going back to home. Domain would be all real numbers. The range would be all real numbers such that g of x is less than 2. Not equal to 2, less than 2. Okay? All right, so let's try a different animal now. Okay, how about this one? How about y equals absolute value of x. Let's do x plus 3 and then go minus 2. All right, the domain, look at that. All real numbers, yeah, piece of cake. Okay, the range, you tell me. Okay, here comes my answer. Hopefully you've tried it. All real numbers such that y, because it says y in the equation, doesn't say f of x, is greater than or equal to negative 2. Yeah, there you go. All right, let's try this one. How about this one? How about f of x equals 1 divided by x? Ooh, look at that. I got two asymptotes going on. I got a vertical asymptote and a horizontal asymptote. So let's see, the domain would be the x values. And it looks like I cannot have an x value of 0. So my domain would be all real numbers such that x does not equal 0. My range would be all real numbers such that f of x does not equal 0. Yeah, because I've got a double asymptote going on there. Okay, well, how about if I did this? How about if I had minus 2? Ooh, look at that. The one asymptote shifted. Let me go plus 3. There we go. we've got two different asymptotes going on here. Let me zoom in. Oh, zoom in, sorry. See if I can't see things better. Okay, so it looks like there's an asymptote going on, a horizontal asymptote at 3. See how it's getting close to 3? Let's check over on the other side here. Is it going to hit 3? No, it's going to approach 3 from the top. The other one was approaching from the bottom. So 3 is going to be left out of my range. Yeah, that's my range. What's being left out of my domain? My x coordinates. Well, it looks like 2 is. See that, how it's not going there? That's getting closer. Oops. It's getting closer. It's getting closer. But it's not getting to 2, is it? Okay. So my domain would be all real numbers such that x does not equal 2. My range is all real numbers such that x does not equal 3. Hey, by the way, if I put 2 in here into this x coordinate, I get 2 minus 2, which is 0. I'm dividing by 0. It's undefined. That's why there's a vertical asymptote. Okay, I think that's going to be it. Amaya, I hope that helps you out, sweetie. All right, if not, go ahead and get on Khan Academy and, do a search under determining domain and range. All right, Mr. Lawrence signing off. Have a good night, everybody.